This is Danny with QuadLugs, and I just finished a build of the modified H540 frame kit, and it's in the one of the new colors, which is yellow. And this is going out to Mike at the Mesa rcFoam Fighters, the new Bedford, Massachusetts chapter, and we're going to be sponsoring those guys with some of our, or be a sponsor rather, with some of our QuadLugs frame kits this year, and we're really proud of that, and really proud that Mike chose us to be part of their program. Mike's doing some great work out there. But anyway, this is one that I promised him I would get put together, and I'm going to put together another 540 modified H, and this time is just going to be the frame, and I just wanted to do a little video on how that goes together. Let me put this aside. As with all QuadLugs, and you know, I say this every time, but they all build the same. And if you go to the quick build guide series, I think it's 1 through 10, it'll walk you through each phase of putting them together. And I really highly suggest everyone who buys a frame kit or thinking of buying a frame kit from us to go ahead and go through those videos just to get an idea ahead of time what they're in for, which is not very much at all. It's very simple to build, and as I always say, please remember that after you have these lugs, you can change them up with a little wood. You can change them up to be anything you want it to be. Whether it's one of our other frame kits that we have or a design of your own. Very unique thing about QuadLugs. So let's get started, and you're going to hear Zoe, our little dog, in the background, and she's our watchdog here, and she'll voice her opinion here and there. But anyway, let's get started. And first of all, you see the purple. This is one of the yellow, and the purple is the two of the new colors just now coming out, and I want to have them on the site hopefully by Monday or Tuesday. So we'll have red, white, purple, and yellow, and we have some more colors coming up. I'm still working on it a little bit, and if you guys can, and girls, can leave some suggestions on colors you'd like to see, please let me know, and we'll see what we can do to get that rolling. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get the feet put together, and let me see. Okay, here they are. And all the dimensions for the landing gear, the body, the motor arms, it's all on the site. And so if you have lugs already from another one of our frame kits, or if you've just bought just the lugs only, you can go and check out the dimensions, and you can build them that way if you want to, furnish in your own wood. So what we're going to do, being that the screw holes are on one side on all of these, so if you want them to be symmetrical, you'll need to drill, another hole like that. And of course, we're going to be drilling that with an eighth inch bit. I'm getting kind of tangled up in my microphone. I'm not used to using it, but I guess it makes it a little bit better if I do. Okay. Get my bits out here. So we'll get the 1/8 inch bit, and again, this is going to be going like that, so we'll use one hole there. We'll drill one here. Now, when you're drilling these holes, anytime you need to drill a hole in most all of the lugs, is that you'll see these indentions here, and that's where I guess they call it a pin that's used to push these out of the mold. And you can just go into the center of that, and it usually matches up this side perfectly. The same thing on the motor mounts. You go into the center of that indentation, and it works good if you're putting a screw in this way. You can put them in this way if you want. I normally do it that way. So let me get this drilled, and we'll get these ready. Okay. And it's kind of really probably better to drill these off of, before you put the wood in, because let me show you what happens. It'll go into the wood a little bit if you don't watch out, and if it goes too far, well, then the screw doesn't fit properly. So it's really better to do that, drill all these holes prior to putting the wood in. And then after you do get the wood in, use an 1/8 inch bit for your pilot hole. And that's something I pretty much do on all of them. And make sure they're pushed in all the way. There we go. And then, I'm not a big fan of using big drills to put these screws in, because it winds up stripping a lot of things out if you don't watch it. It's just too much power for the, for what's really needed. So that's the reason I use this small drill. And I really highly suggest, and if you're putting these together, or if you're putting them together with a friend or by yourself, I don't know, sometimes just using a hand screwdriver and putting them in by hand kind of slows the process down. And for me, when I slow it down, I actually enjoy it a lot better. Although putting these together is, I really like it. In fact, if I could find this or do this as my full-time job, I'd be one happy camper. So anyway, here we go here. These are your motor arm lugs. And on the quick build guide, it'll give you directions on pre-drilling some holes that you need to do in here. I'm gonna do these as I put it together. I don't really suggest that, but I'm gonna show you. And it's really better if you prep them ahead of time. And on our quick build guide, if you go there, there's the arm prep video, and it goes over that very good. And it really does work better to do it that way. I've done a lot of these, so it's, I guess, maybe a little bit easier for me to do it like this. Or it's, faster, but it's not really faster. So anyway, if you want these to match, or to be all on the same side, they need to be a mirror of each other. And what this hole is for is to hold, obviously, the landing gear. Let me see. So they're going to go like this. So, you're going to need one here. And that will put them all on the same side. Now, if you mess up on this, you can just drill a hole on the other side. It doesn't hurt anything at all. So you really don't mess up with this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do these two also. And like I said, on the quick build guide, it goes through this on the section to do this, on the section to prep the arms. And okay. So I really would advise to watch all of those. It's really the best way to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. I've already glued, these come separate, and I've glued them on, or glued them together already, and I use CA on this. And I clamp it for a little while. You can use epoxy if you want. CA does a good job. Just make sure and get it, you know, enough coverage on there so you get a good bond. There's a little bit of flash on here that you can cut off when you're putting together with a knife. It, you know, pretty much it's real easy to get it off. And, you know, sometimes, see, just your fingernail takes it off. And we'll put this on. And the purple we have right now, and I'll go over this on another video, but it's a marbled color, and you can see they're not perfectly matched up, but the next batch will be totally purple. This is something that happened on mixing, and really don't know why actually. And I thought it was kind of neat because it's definitely a one-time color. So yeah, looks pretty good. So we're gonna put purple on one side, and we're gonna have white on the other. And we're gonna get another arm on here. Let's see what's happening. The holes are on the outside here. And on the white side, I'm gonna put a 90 on, then a purple on this side. We're gonna go ahead and build the other side. And again, let's see. Yep. This is gonna go like this. One thing I want to mention too is that we have a video out, and it's, you know, on the site, and it's under gallery and build videos. And anyway, it's a video bringing back the sizing of the wood, or, you know, correcting a fit that might go awry on you after a while. And what happens with the wood is that their humidity changes, you know, it shrinks. More humidity, it'll swell. So that obviously affects the fit. And then also, if you have some bumps and bruises with it, in other words, a few crashes with it, and the wood doesn't break, but what it'll do, it'll start compressing a little bit, and the fit will be compromised. But I have a video out, and it's an old school way, old-timey way of doing this, and it works very, very, very well, is that using CA. And what you do, however the fit is, like if it's here and it's, you know, about an inch or whatever, you go ahead and put CA on there, or here. And if it's on the end, you let it soak in the end. And if you have, you know, go ahead and have your hole in there, you know, put some in the hole. You may have to re-drill the hole afterwards, but that's fine. But put it on, let it dry really, really good. Then put the piece on, and you'll see that the fit goes back very good, back to original. Anyway, the video's out, goes step by step how to do that. But I just wanted to mention it. You know, you may want to take a look at that if you have a problem with the fit. It takes care of it. And we'll go ahead and put that on. Put the white on. We'll put another arm on. And see, again, we're getting all the holes on the outside. And we'll put the 90 on. Then at this time, we're going to go ahead and put our cross brace in. Make sure they're pushed in all the way. And I'm holding these off about an inch here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that right now. And that'll be done. When you do that, make sure this is shoved in all the way so your measurement's good. And we'll do the same here. Now, what I'm noticing on this one, you know, the fit on this side is pretty good. The fit on the wood on this side, you'll see it's going to vary. It's a hair bit loose, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it put together before I do anything, because I want that hole in there anyway. And we'll see how how it turns out after it's put together. And like I said, if you need to do it, you can watch the video. Very easy to do. So let's say this right here, you didn't like this fit, you know, if it was too loose for you. After it's put together, you can just, you know, undo 2 screws, take the front end off, and take this screw out, slide it back, go ahead and put your CA on, let it dry really, really good. Put it back and it'll be taken care of. So little extra there, but it does take care of that fit just in case you have a problem with it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the 2 cross pieces in, and we'll start putting this thing together. There we go. And then you just want to make sure that it's pulled in all the way, because you know, sometimes, like I said, the fit of the wood seat is a little bit tighter, and you want to make sure it goes all the way in. And these cross pieces are 3-inch, 3-inch. Wow, I forget, I think 12-inch. Yes, 12-inch, 3 and 3. So a good way to check this is that you should have, if you cross piecing, if you're building one on your own, whatever width you want the inside width to be, you cut these, and it works out. So this is 3 and that's 3. And if you check this, it's right on 3. So that's a way to check this, make sure the frame, you know, all this is pushed in all the way. And there you go. Oh, let me get it lined up. 3. So cut this 3, or whatever you want here, whatever you want here, and these to match. And that'll give you this dimension here if you go to check it again, or if you're shooting for a certain size dimension. In other words, if you have 4-inch wood you want to put in here, well, you're going to have, you know, 3 millimeters and 3 millimeters here, so it's going to be shy of 6 millimeters because of that. But you could adjust this if you wanted to, and increase it by 6 millimeters for, you know, this width and this width right here. You're going to find that all these pieces on the inside are all the same. They're flush. They're all 3 millimeter thick. So it makes for a nice, you know, easy way to do this. So if you wanted this to be a true 3-inch, 3 inches plus 6 millimeters, whatever that comes up to, I have to figure it out. Same thing here, or 3-inch plus 6 millimeters. And this piece the same, that same, and your 3 inch is going to fit in there, or, you know, maybe another millimeter for clearance. So anyway, that's how you do it. And that works out pretty good. So there you are. We're going to go ahead and screw this together. I've measured this and everything looks good, and they're pushed in all the way this way. Again, these arms are 12-inch, so if you want to make sure that they're pushed in all the way, just go ahead and put your ruler on there. It's 12 inches. Good shape. So everything's pushed in good. I'm going to go ahead and secure this down now. And like I said, if you go through the quick build guide, it walks you through every bit of this, and it's segments on each thing, so you know you're not going to go crazy watching, you know, like this video here, you know, flipping hour long. But anyway, if you take a look at that, it's really the best way to do it. And then you can go and check the build tips guide for your particular frame, and it's on our site under the same category, gallery build videos. And I'll have a build tips video on each frame, which doesn't show you the actual building of the frame, but it gives you some hints, you know, like the spacing here that I'm using, things like that, the motor arm degrees. And you know, things like that. And again, if you're building a frame and you ever need any extra help or you have any questions, please email me. I will get back with you, and I do it fairly quickly. And you know, if need be, to clear it up, you know, I'll definitely make a follow-up video on the particular items that you want to see. So I want to make sure you have no problems putting them together. They are a lot of fun to put together. And the thing is, I had this told to me a long time ago that I think a great guy. He said, you know, if you build it, you know how to repair it. And that is a mouthful, I tell you. So, you know, I've always remembered that. So I'll get these screws in, and I know this is long, but like I said, you know, if you want to jump through there, it's fine. In our kits, we normally give double screws, and I do that because I've been frustrated so many times in the past when I messed something up myself, or there was, you know, an error in the screw, and there is sometimes. You can't check every one of them. Or I just flat needed an extra one, you know. So let me check this. Okay. And I had marked it before. You may be able to see it. It's on the line there. So I feel comfortable with this, and you know, I'm ready. And I'm gonna double check this one more time. Okay, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and do the arms now. Lock that in. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. And again, make sure they're pushed all the way in. Okay, and this one is. And again, you want to make sure they're pushed in all the way. And again, if these ever loosen up in here, the method I was telling you about, and you can take a look at the video, works really good. You make them like new again with the CA deal. We're going to go ahead and put this on here. And we're going to drill all the way through there. Now this is a little bit different than how I show it on the arm prep. And to be honest with you, it's a little bit faster to do. But doing the arm prep, I would suggest doing it that way. I've just built so many of these, you know, I guess sometimes you can chalk it up to experience or repetition, but sometimes that's a bad thing too, because that's how you mess up. We'll go ahead and line that up there. We're going to make sure the measurement, just to make sure. We'll check this again. Okay, happy with that. And I just want to make sure that, you know, this is square this way. And I usually do that by, you know, measuring here. If my measurements, I feel very comfortable with those. So we'll go ahead and get another one of these. Make sure it's pushed all the way in. We'll put that on. And we're going to drill it through. Okay. And I use a small bit to get the residue out of here, because when we do this, we're cutting through this, the bottom side here, the nylon, and it tends to leave this in there. So screws don't go into that too good. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of the screws and washers. Okay, excuse me. Yep, let me put a nut in there first. And the nut, I just, it fits on the receptor behind here. And I hold it in with my finger. And again, in the quick build guide videos, it takes you through all of this. So again, I would very much suggest watching all of them. Let me get it lined up. Oh, not so much lined up, it's got trash in it. It's exactly what I was saying to get out too, wasn't it? Okay, I must not have done it properly. Anyway, that's the reason we want to do that, for this particular reason. Of course, I did this on purpose just to show you. Right. Okay. We'll do this again. Now it's probably smarter to go ahead and put the motor mounts on here first. I'm not going to be smart. I'm going to wait. You get it started, and then you don't need to hold the screw anymore. And then I'm going to run 60 degree back this way, or 30 degree. It's 15 degree increments, 2 clicks this way. And we're not going to cinch it down real good yet, but we're going to do it enough to where it'll hold itself. Grab it. Another nut for this side. Okay. And again, we're going to go 2 clicks, 30 degrees this way, or 60 back. Okay. So that side is done. So we're going to go to this side. And again, I'm going to line it up on my marks here. Now I'm going to break away for a minute and get this done. It's exactly like this side, and I'll check with you in a second. Okay, we're back. The arms are put on and double checked it. Another good way to make sure, once you set these arms here, or you know how far you want this one and this one, in this case it's an inch on either side. What you can do is, to keep track of it, is go ahead and measure in between here and here, just to double check, and then check the other side to make sure they're symmetrical. Either way you want to measure it, just as long as you do and they're symmetrical. Now a lot of them, we just butt them up to the 90s. And when you go through the quick build or the build tips for each frame, some of them I'll say, I just butt them up to the 90. You put all this together, you screw this together, you butt them up, and then of course always double check your measurement just to make sure. That's another way to make sure that they're pushed together, and you're good to go. It's a lot easier. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put our legs on. Our landing gear rather, and go ahead and make sure they're pushed in all the way. And once again, I'll use the actually these holes are already drilled, 1/8" holes in here, the pilots. So I'm going to just go ahead and screw these in. And then you'll see me do this most every time, is that I'll put them in and I get them real close, and then I finish it off with the screwdriver. And again, I don't know, drills are good. Screwing with them, applications like this, I always like to finish it off by hand. I just think, you know, it's the better way to do it. And those are good. Let's go ahead and put these on. And we want to put our screws on the outside, so I turned around. Those are on the outside. And you can put them either way you want, but just do it that way, make sure they're right. Excuse me. I'll go ahead and do the pilot hole. And these are, you know, 5/8 screws we're putting here. And all this is on the quick build guide videos. So. Yeah, we'll just make sure, or finish it off rather. Okay. The feet are on, the landing gear is on. Okay, let me. I'm gonna go ahead and use an 1/8" bit and drill these, the motor mounts, and get them ready. And again, right in that area right here where that pin is, this one actually has an indentation right in the center of the pin. So I mean, there's no reason why you can't get these right. I'll get these drilled out. We'll get our 1/8" bit ready. I'll go ahead and get these put on. We came out with the purple color. Where again, I'm so proud to be able to do this, and I'm also proud that we were again chosen to be a sponsor. But we also sponsored last year. We sponsored the Mesa rcFoam fighters in Colorado, the Colorado chapter. And Jake over there is just, wow, if you get a chance to go to their site and check it out, I tell you what, he's done some phenomenal stuff, just like Mike's doing. And they do a very good job with it. And they have, I think this might be the first year that they have some girl students. And Jake and I were talking, and I said, you know, what can we help you with this coming year? And what would you like to see from us? And he says, you know, it would be nice to have a different color for the girls. And I said, or a new color for the girls coming in this year. And I said, wow, yeah, that sounds great. And he goes, you know, I said, well, we've been working on purple and yellow. He said, purple. He said, I think that would be great. That's part of the reasoning for this coloring to be here. Again, I'm very proud for QuadLugs to be able to do this. So anyway, we'll double check it like I was saying with the screwdriver. And again, if you ever have, if you do strip out one of these screws, again, take a look at the video with using CA to bring this back to life, or to fit back to life. And it will do the same thing. You put the CA in the hole, screw hole, let it dry really good. You can use kicker, and that's good too, but let it dry even a little bit after you put the kicker on. Because if not, it's permanent on whatever you put it on. Which is no big deal unless you break something, then you're gonna be trying to dig it out of there. Or get another one. Or get another part. Let it dry good, and when you put that screw back into that hole, you're gonna see the fit's a whole lot better. So, you don't really mess up. There's always a way to take care of it. So, here you go. We have the feet on. We have the arms that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. And I know this is stretching out a little bit. I don't want you guys to get mad at me. But I tell you what, my problem is that I like this too much. And I can go on and on and on about it. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down. And what I did, I just set it up here. And let me get my hands out of the way. I set it up, touching here, and I just got myself a mark right on the inside of this. You can measure it. To me, this is just quicker and easier, and I don't have to worry about messing up with a 1/16 inch mark or something. So okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a mark this way. Maybe I'll do a little bit better job. Okay. Now this is and it's on the quick build guide. This is one of the critical parts of putting this together, and I call it critical because it really locks everything together. Is that this cross piece here, we're going to shoot a screw actually from the other side, and it's going to wind up locking the deck to the arm to the cross piece. And what we're going to do, there's a hole on this side, there's not a hole, and if you look at our arm prep, it shows you to go ahead and drill it through. We're doing this a little bit different. I really suggest you doing it the other way, but we're going to go ahead and do this all at one time on this one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this screw in first, kind of hold everything together. Now I use the 1/8 inch bit, and I just drill just a little bit through the wood. It keeps it from splitting. If you don't, sometimes it will split on you. I mean, you can fix it again, CA, take it off, put some CA on the wood and let it set for a while. And you're good to go. But okay, that glass reinforced nylon is tough, and you can see, you could hear it. So I'm gonna do this by hand, and this really does lock it. And you can see the tip of the screw, it doesn't stick out. It comes just beneath this surface right here, but you know you did it right if you see that tip in there. If you don't, have one that you don't see it, you didn't do it right. You'll see it like that. But I know you'll do it right. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this over, and we're gonna do all the rest of them. I hold up on the deck with my fingers, just keep them out of the way. And you want to drill these as straight as you can. That's the reason I really suggest doing it like the quick build guide says before you do this, because you can get them crooked and not gonna kill the job, that's for sure. But you want it to look nice. And then if you use it on something else, and if you keep the lugs, you stay active in multi-rotors, you will use them again. I mean, you'll change it up. You'll make something else out of it. And that way, when you do that, you don't have to worry about doing the arms again. They're all ready for you. So if you do it right this time, they look good, and they'll work really good for the next time, if you build something different with it. So, and that's one reason for prepping them really, as a quick build guide, because it's set up, if you use them in the future, it'll make a real nice looking job. And again, now by doing it this way, it really locks this frame together. And you can tell how strong that reinforced nylon is. And I'll go ahead and tighten this one up. You got to be careful when you tighten it up too. And another reason why I don't really like using a big drill for this is that this nylon is so tough, and when you thread this through there, it'll pull these screws right through that wood. It's in a heartbeat. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you won't catch it in time, and it's too late. It'll pull right through the wood. So it takes a little bit longer, but hey, this is what it's all about. Have some fun, take time. Okay, this thing is stiffening up like crazy. And here I see that one in there. See that one in there, that one in there. This one I don't see a ton. It may not be pulled all the way in. There we go. See, and there it is. You can see them in there. And that's just another way of knowing you have it tight here. I didn't do that on purpose. It just worked out that way. So there you go there. And what I've done here, if I'm not mistaken, is you can set this all the way here, all the way there, or just put it in the middle. I think I ran these a 1/2 inch from either side, but again, you can do whatever you want with it. And I think that's about it. Let me just see for you here. Yep, it's approximately a 1/2 inch here, this gap and this gap. So you can set one side, if you want to put it in the middle like I do, set one side at a 1/2 inch. Go ahead and put this on there, and then adjust this side, and you can do it that way. Or you can cut this down, and make this smaller, whatever you want. I normally put my electronics underneath here, and again, that's on the quick build guide. Putting the pan and deck on a quick build guide. Again, go through it all, please, and you know, that'll help you out a lot. You definitely have to trim this, put this all together, just like we did here, and just like the quick build guide says to do. Put that all together, then trim this, put it in. These you normally have to trim. Just so happens this one works out to fit. Most of the time you have to trim this piece also. Please keep that in mind. Now for, I'm not going to put the deck on here, and it's on a quick build guide, super easy. What I normally do is just, you know, give myself a mark and a mark, and I normally put the screw in the middle right here. That way it doesn't interfere with electronics. You can put it here and here if you want to, that's up to you. But I normally put it in here. And if this arm here, if you want to, you can put another piece of wood in here and here, this way, and that acts, you know, a double arm, that's more strength. You can do that. This doesn't require it. Some of the bigger ones we build, it's not a bad idea to do it, and you can do it also. If you build one that's a little bit bigger, that'd be up to you. So remember the screws, trimming after it's all put together, screws in from the top, locks it all together. This will go on later. Mike, I'm going to leave this off so you can do your electronics and let you put it on and adjust it if you want. What I'm going to do too, Mike, is that these arms, I'm going to loosen them up, and how this, I'm going to ship this over to you, is I'm going to go ahead and pull these together, and I'm going to do probably that number right there. Now I'm not going to tighten this all the way because it's not a good angle right here. It'll put this all in a bind. But let me see something here while I have this on video. How might be a good way to do this. And it, you know, I could take the arms off and ship it that way, but I'm trying to do it. In fact, you know, it'd probably be better just to take the arms off. Anyway, it'll come with the arms off, put them on, easy to do. The feet will be off, it'll fit in the box easy that way. And I'm gonna go ahead and get you another one put together, Mike. I know you're cramped on time, and you'll have one to put together complete so you can have that experience, and we'll have others coming to you. We're going to send this over, this also to you, Mike. Not this one, but a frame kit to put together, so you can try this out. That's our new mini quad. We're going to have some flight video too coming out, hopefully the next day or so, on the yellow one that's fully put together. Before I send it out. Take care. I wanted to also say that normally I do not fasten these down. I leave them just like this. Whenever you put your deck on and you screw it down, you'll find that most of the time it locks it in for you, and they won't move anymore. But if you do want to secure it, you know, you have plenty of screws that we send out with it. You could shoot one, you know, here, or you could actually shoot one into the pan if you wanted to this way. So, you know, you can do that if you want.